Hello, Little Falls Community Middle School. This is our third segment for the April 8th, 2024 partial solar eclipse that we're going to see here in Little Falls. I wanted to go back to this figure right here. As we were talking before, how the moon revolves around the earth, and we are going to have a view of the moon during the daytime on April 8th. Here in Little Falls, it's going to go through this part of the shadow that is cast by the moon on earth, through this part right here. That's called the penumbra, just a partial shadow. So we're not going to see a total solar eclipse here. But you can see that a very large swath of land here on Earth is going to see a partial solar eclipse. The reason that so few people see a total solar eclipse is that area, if you look at this cone right here, this is called the umbra. That area is a really, really skinny line that goes all the way around the Earth will actually rotate through that. And our path of totality on April 8th is going to come up through Texas, through Indiana, and then out the northeast coast, as you can see here. And we in Little Falls are just north and west of this path of totality here, and we are going to see about 70-75% of the sun obscured by the moon. To give us another view, here's a picture from space of a total solar eclipse. Okay, so here to get you kind of oriented to space here, here's China, and this would be over the ocean right here. But this plot, or this area of water is about 120 miles across. It kind of varies from eclipse to eclipse. On April 8th, the path of totality will be about 115 miles thick. So like a drive from Little Falls to St. Paul about. Okay, so that's not a really big area that's going to go across the country, which is why those areas along the path of totality are so busy during events like this. I had mentioned last time that I had the opportunity to go to the total solar eclipse that happened in August of 2017, and I wanted to show you just a couple pictures of that. You can see here that it took a lot of preparation. I plotted out on a map where my mother and I were going to go. She agreed to go on this wild adventure with me. And because it's so hard to plan for a vacation where you're wanting to have clear skies for a minute and a half on one day, we actually booked hotels in 3 different states along the path of totality, and we went down right in the middle one. And then we were just watching the weather, and we knew that if it was going to be cloudy there, but if it was going to be a little bit clear over in Wyoming or a little bit clear in Illinois, then we were going to bail out of Jackson City, Missouri and go there in the middle of the night. But it turned out we landed in the best possible spot. So when we got there to this, it was a big, like a fairgrounds, and there was tons of festivities going on. There was food trucks and games and all sorts of things. One of the most interesting things that I saw was just the wide variety of people that had an interest in this. So there was everything from official NASA vans, which was really, really neat for me to see, to people that were just amateur astronomers with their own home scopes here, down to people who had built their own viewers. This woman here was a professor of astronomy at the university there and had made a pinhole viewer out of a Cheerio box, which we're going to do in the next segment. And then these ladies here had made kind of the same deal, but had their own little design. And we're going to talk a lot more about what a pinhole viewer is next time. During totality, though, when you're in the path of totality, you can actually take off your glasses because the moon has completely covered the sun. And it allows for us to see just the solar corona coming out from around that shadow. And during this eclipse, I think it was about a minute and a half, we could take off our glasses. And here's this next picture, is really embarrassing, but here's me in my glasses. And then during totality, you could take them off, and this dumbfounded look on my face is because I was truly dumbfounded. It was one of the most amazing things I had ever seen. We at the middle school are each going to get a pair of these really cool glasses. One thing to look for if you're out ordering your own glasses is a little symbol that says ISO certified. It's a standard for certification for safety for these little plastic lenses that come in here. We have to use these glasses because they're 1,000 times darker than regular sunglasses. In fact, when you put them on, you can't even see your hand in front of your face. It's so dark. The only thing you'll be able to see is the sun when you look at it. So while we're looking at the partial solar eclipse, we have to have these on all the time. And still remember that we're still looking at the sun, and the only thing that's protecting your eyeball from the sun is this thin piece of plastic. So while we're out there, provided it's a nice sunny day, just keep that in mind. You might want to glance up at it and watch it for a while, and then give your eyes a break and kind of look away, and then look back up there and check it out. But try not to just stare at it for a full 45 minutes. I did. I looked at it for about 2 hours and my eyes were a little bit sore afterwards, even though I had these certified glasses on. So try to give your eyes a little bit of a break. There's a link up here that I wanted to show you where we could bring Little Falls right into view here. I'm going to make this, can I make this bigger? Okay, here. And I'm going to push play here and I'll speed it up so that we don't have to sit here forever. Ooh, make the sun big. What we're going to see, this is about 5 minutes to 1 in the afternoon. You're going to see the moon start to appear in the lower right of the sun. It's 1 o'clock about now. I'm going to speed up the time just a little bit. So we're going to jump ahead to, here is 20 after 1. Still moving, and this is not how fast it moves in real life. I have this all the way sped up. So it's going to move a lot slower than that. Here is about 1:45. So it's a pretty good view. We're going to try to get outside right around 1:45 to be able to see this. And I'll include this link to your science teachers, and maybe they can pop it up on their Google Classroom. And I also have another video that I wanted to show you of just the experience of eclipse viewing from around the world. There's just a couple really neat clips from documentaries that were made during the 2017 eclipse. Going back here, next week you're gonna get a couple of different videos from me. One, I'll be talking a little bit more about the logistics of the day of April 8th and how we're all going to get our glasses and go out onto the football field in a fairly organized manner. We'll talk about how we'll decide when we're going to go outside. We'll talk a little bit about the weather forecast next week, since it's getting it's close enough for us to even think about that, especially since it's snowing right now. And then I will also be showing you how to make a pinhole viewer. One thing to keep in mind as we distribute these glasses is that there are some partial eclipse coming up in the future, and so we would love to get them back if you can take good care of them when you have them out there on the football field, and then we'll be having you turn those back in to your advisor at the end of our viewing. Until next week, I will see you soon.